you're just radiating currently, and it's bringing you into this proper internal balance of masculine and feminine, and really making you extremely magnetic, which is allowing all of these beautiful experiences to be mirrored from your own energy. It is residing in that energy specifically that is allowing these energies to surround you. It's the birds of a feather flock together. It's you holding that vibration, which is allowing these other energies to come in and surround you. And in the north, in the completion cycle, at the ending, is justice. You are receiving your justice for everything that you've been through, for all of the hardships, for all of the difficulties, for all of the crazy journey. It's funny, I pulled a card this morning earlier today about the Dragon's Gate, and the story of the, from what I understand from the Chinese and Japanese, is that there was thousands of koi swimming up this river, and they got so strong because they were swimming up against the current, but they eventually got to this place where there was like a thunderous waterfall, and most of them turned back and swam downstream and decided to just go back downstream, but some of them decided to go up the waterfall, and it was like they were swimming for, I believe it's 100 years, and eventually one of them was able to leap up above the waterfall. And it's a reflection on spending all of this time working and working and working and working and working and working and working towards your goals, and like wondering, when is this going to pay off? And when that koi jumped up and out of the waterfall and made it up above, the gods were so pleased they transformed him into a dragon. And that is the Dragon's Gate. That is almost the fool's journey, is going through all of the craziness of life, the entirety of it, going through all of the difficulty, the density, the hardships, all of it, all of it, all of it, all of it, and keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, even when you haven't seen the rewards. And that's what you have been doing. And that this divine justice is finally coming in, and you are being transformed into the dragon that you have always been within your own heart, this unstoppable being. And that the gods, God, the Great Spirit, the holy people, whatever way you would like to look at the divinity and the sacredness of this universe, it wants to reward you. And you're going through a process right now of receiving that reward. Do we got any guidance from above, Great Spirit? Can we get some guidance from... Ooh, they jump out. They jumping. You got the love. Hadarian energy, codependency, and boundaries. It says, I remember soul plan, the fated life versus the destined life, and the 7 star sisters. That's a nod to Pleiades. Birthing creations, tapestries of life, expression. So you may have some ties to Pleiades, it sounds like. So that may be worth exploring in meditation. And I believe that this is a period now where you're really going through kind of a transition of almost like what your fate was, and then you, through all of your dedication and devotion to spirit, have manifested your destiny, and this new path has been birthed and opened up and began to burst wide open for you. And wow, that's beautiful. That's from above. So I would really do some meditation and some reflection on connecting with the Pleiades, and yeah, and also reflecting on boundaries and codependency, and that there may be spaces in your life where you have to be firm with boundaries, and that maybe you have been more firm with boundaries, and that is what is allowing this kind of new chapter to open up, is that you're no longer kind of allowing those codependency areas to come into manifestation in your life. You're setting those firm boundaries, and that is informing the universe on what is going to be allowed in your life and what kind of life that you would like to embody. What do we have for below, Great Spirit? Great Spirit. Got a double pack coming up. We got doses after the storm and mimosas. I couldn't help it, Josh. Shoot. Spirals of manifestation after the storm. So what it's telling me is that it's been some mucky energy, even moving through some density, you know. But yeah. What I'm seeing is that you're coming out of this storm with an incredible amount of wisdom, and that's with this owl coming out. They're considered one of the wisest animals which is funny because I think in material reality they have a very small brain, which they're not actually very smart, but they're considered metaphysically very like wisdom, to represent wisdom. And also this symbol here looks a lot like the Sri Yanka, to me, which is a balance of masculine and feminine. So again, it's kind of touching on the note of really coming into divine union internally and coming into balance through your discernment and through your setting of your boundaries, and no longer allowing that kind of codependency energy to be present in your life. And spirals of manifestation. And this is like, you've seen little bits of the manifestation, and you've kind of reflected on it, and you've like, okay, I've got a little bits of it here. And it's funny, if you actually look back at like maybe 5-10 years ago, you're probably living in the prayers and the dreams that you had been putting out. But it's like, as we continue to move, those goalposts kind of continue to move further and further out. So Spirit is just really asking that you have gratitude and be thankful for where you're at, and realize that you are living in the dreams of a version of yourself, of a younger version of yourself already, and having a deep sense of gratitude for that, and an understanding of the fact that that is already manifested for you, and that there's going to be a continuation of this as you spiral into further and further depths of yourself, and as you move into infinity, that we're going to see even higher octaves of these manifestations come in. Okay, Great Spirit. Can we get one final card, please? For within. Oop. That doesn't feel right. Thank you, though. Thank you, though. Thank you, though. Oop. Great Spirit. Do we got a card, please? For the viewer here. Final guidance from within. From within. Can we get, oh, there we go. That's what we were looking for. Something to hop out. 10. Okay. It's got it says chalk, and it has a peacock feather, I believe, and a woman holding the feather, dressed all in white garb. And it looks like she almost looks like she may be naked, in that the garb that is surrounding her is kind of her hair braided down. I have never pulled this card before, so we're going to read the message and see what we got here. Final guidance, Great Spirit, what do we have? Okay. Here we go. You are being called to connect with nourishing forces. To accomplish this, you need to step beyond ordinary reality for a time. Sacred, meaningful retreat will vary in duration depending on the needs of your soul. Do not be afraid to turn away from the outer world to communicate with Spirit and make peace with yourself in your soul journey. In doing so, you can claim the benefits, blessings, and bounties that are rightfully yours. Utilize them to heal yourself and strengthen the quality of your offering to the world. Your path and purpose shall become even more powerfully aligned with your heart. In the diverse range of spiritual traditions, including African, Vedic, Buddhist, and Taoist spiritualities, the body is recognized as having its own innate organization, any disruption of which results in suffering, such as illness or emotional dysregulation. White as a color vibration is believed to hold the properties of purity, higher order, which facilitates realignment to natural spiritual organization of life, and in doing so promotes healing. White chalk holds particular sacred properties. It is created from various combinations of kaolin clay, fossilized shell, ash, and sometimes salt. It is utilized in rituals, ceremonies, and customs amongst a diverse array of West African cultural groups. It serves a purpose in internal medicine as well as ritual marking chalk to represent certain symbolic meanings, such as initiation or the presence of spiritual energies. It also functions as a sacred substance for offerings to ancestors. In the Igbo people of the Delta State in Nigeria, it is known as Nzu. It's Nzu, I'm not sure the pronunciation, and recognizes a substance connected to royalty, signifying blessings, protections of ancestors, and purity. In that cultural group, white chalk or Nzu is utilized in coronation of the king or obi. Preparation for such an honor involves smearing white chalk over the body, wearing white garments, and spending a specific period of time, usually 28 days, in isolation. This process allows for blessings to be received from the ancestors. Those blessings are then shared with the congregation upon emergence as white chalk is thrown over the people in dance. Within that culture, doctors and priests have also worn white chalk as a symbol of their vocation and their ability to gain access to the spirit world. To go into Nzu as a requirement of the priest, or Orin, during certain religious festivals. The time is in a solitude, when certain disturbing activities should not take place. It is a time of peace to prepare oneself. The white chalk is not simply a physical substance so much as a divine potentiator. In a manifestation of higher order goodness, grace, and blessings, white marking can trace the outlines of sacred space and mark the pathways or channels through which spiritual energy manifests itself. To be able to receive such goodness, one needs healthy connections in the spiritual and physical realms. To find such connections may require a period of retreat to cleanse oneself of patterns which prevent such goodwill from manifesting in one's life. There may be a need to clear issues of worth that would prevent one from claiming the innate spiritual dignity and inner royalty of the soul that religious traditions from around the world tell us is the true nature of the divine essence within humankind. The Oracle of Chalk is a call to disengage from everyday reality for a time, to commune with the spiritual world, to request blessings, and to dig around in the recesses of your ancestral inheritance to find what can bless and support you. If you have bad karmic burdens of ancestral wounding to heal, you may have to dive deep and travel beneath the wounding to unveil the secret blessings. Every wounding contains a potential blessing if you are willing to work it through spiritually. You are being called to find and claim the goodness hiding in your history for your own soul's empowerment. The significance of solitude in the 28-day lunar cycle asks you to recognize that there are certain things that you can discover for yourself. The fall lunar cycle alludes not only to a period of time in the physical world, but spiritual cycle, which will have its own timing of unfoldment. There is something that you are spiritually figuring out right now. You will come to an understanding of what works for you and what empowers you. It will free you from what has been and open a new cycle for you. Give your time to the process. It needs a time to complete a full cycle. Trust in the wisdom and workings of divine timing. The potent expression of hospitality, goodwill, and friendship inherent in the Nzu brings forth the reminder of the need for those things in your world. How can you contribute to the qualities of the world according to your particular talents and temperament? How can you open yourself to receive these qualities? Goodwill is a powerful force that exists in the spiritual and human realms. There is a need to ensure that you are plugged into it, that you are in a sense of encouragement and support of who you are and what you are doing. Strengthening that engagement can often be as simple as stepping back and reframing the input from any naysayers, reaffirming your spiritual truth and the guiding grace of the divine realms, symbolized by the sacredness of white chalk. There is a calmness, clarity, and purity within you that you are being asked to recognize, affirm, and express. If you have been struggling with negativities, the Oracle brings you a sacred scattering of peace, happiness, and cause for celebration into your world. Turn your mind inwards towards the joy of fulfillment and rest in the sacred inner knowing that assures you all will be resolved in due course with grace and wisdom. Wow. Beautiful. All is well, family, and all will come about in divine timing, as it should be. Blessings to you. All my relations, may you live in joy and peace and surrender and happiness and fulfillment and the abundance that is inherent. And may the walls that we build to that joy, peace, and abundance crumble beneath the power and the weight of the love that is inherent within all things. Aho.